Hey Divines, welcome back to Sagacious Saturdays, and it saddens me to say that this is the final session for this season. But for those who have just joined, where have you been? But please do feel free to check out the other three sessions, which were focused on self-love in week 1, limiting beliefs in week 2, and the shadow side or shadow self in week 3, which was last week. As always, for those that were here last week, how did you get on with your question? I know a few of you have been working through the sessions and have found some exciting insights into yourself. So thank you so much for sharing and keep it up. You can reach out to me via the details set below if needed, and that's open to all you lovelies. So my darlings, this week we are focusing on boundaries. Yes, it's good and it's okay to say no, people. By saying no to difficult people and or situations, we are actually saying yes to ourselves. So, how many of us set strong, healthy, and compassionate boundaries? And what does that even mean? So, most of us apply our physical boundaries without even noticing. You know that 3-foot unwritten rule about another person's space? But what about our emotional boundaries? For some of us, this is not so easy to apply. Why? Well, it could be due to many factors such as fear of conflict. With this approach, your focus is not to practice self-respect or even self-love, but to gain the respect, love, and or acceptance of another. Boundaries, which are poorly defined, i.e. people-pleasing, in my opinion, is the equivalent to a hamster wheel. The question begs, when will it end? You continuously run towards a destination that constantly changes. What do I mean by that? People. I mean people. People change every second of the day. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just human nature. This morning, for instance, my attire. I decided to wear something this morning before I went into the shower. But once I came out of the shower, I changed my mind. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can see how easily it can be done. So for you to apply this energy of aimlessly pleasing someone will be a lost cause for all involved, and you will most probably allow yourself to fall onto a level of the victim mindset somewhere along the line due to the possible rejection and what could be deemed as failures. Overdefined boundaries is the flip side of this. Being too rigid with our boundaries can lead to a judgmental, quick, and aggressive approach where the need to be right has control. That's right, you got it. We're back to the ego. With this approach, the mind is defensive with its thoughts and actions, which developed from a fear-based mentality, which has then caused self-centered reactions. So what do? We bring it back to our focus in week 1, which was self-love, and learn to accept and understand the 3 main concepts, which is becoming nurturing towards awareness in the present moment with no judgment. Boundaries and compassion should work together harmoniously, but it's understandably not the most simplest thing to get right, as possibly so many judgmental thoughts we've adopted along the way still hold authority on some level in certain situations, and most of the time we are unaware of their existence. We should all be aware and understand the importance of engaging in some level of intimacy with ourselves. I've just briefly mentioned acceptance, knowing what feels right for us and understanding what will challenge us so we can continue to grow. This is one of my definitions of acceptance, but whichever one resonates, as a coach, I encourage you to apply it today. This is so important, my darlings. I mentioned at the beginning that by saying no to someone or something is actually saying yes to ourselves. So if we compassionately apply this action, we are in fact building healthy boundaries as well as developing a stronger and healthier mindset if done with consistency, which is another level of intimacy. As with all things, to allow anything worthwhile to work, we have to maintain a certain level of commitment, which is the last level of intimacy I will mention for now. To commit to something normally results in some sort of sacrifice. So in the terms of self-development, to unconditionally loving ourselves, this could mean, for example, releasing the thought pattern of being the victim, but then replacing it with gratitude. Make sense? If not, don't give it another thought. I got you. So, when and how to set boundaries. I'm just going to give a few quick and simple tips, but it's 100% imperative that you stay within the moment during this, as distractions may be unnecessarily detrimental to the outcome. Okay, so we've got step 1, assess the situation. Do you feel uncomfortable, or can you see or sense that they feel uncomfortable? Pay close attention to your intuition here. Step 2, release the need to be right. You have nothing to prove. Step 3, now you're in a position to reassess and ask yourself, who was being unpleasant and or unjust? Were they just giving their opinion? Or was it personal? If it was personal, you are within your right to compassionately set those boundaries. If they are not heard, you have to let go of the need to be right. And if that is maintained and you feel content with you and your behavior and your thoughts in that moment, then walk away. The situation or the conversation can be dealt with at another time. Excuse me. So you can catch me here tomorrow for a weekly general guidance tarot or oracle read. Weekdays on my IG for daily guidance. And as you know, there is no Sagacious Saturday next week, but I want to thank you all so much. It's been fun and rewarding hearing some of your journeys over the last weeks. I've got one last question for you based on this topic today. You haven't got away that easily, so that will be coming up shortly. But first, I just want to say well done to those who have actually invested in themselves and, taken on board what I've suggested and obviously tweaked it to something that resonates more to them. And, digging a little deeper is not easy. And it's definitely not pretty, but it's always going to be worth it. So, question time. I would like for you to take a deep breath right now. So get comfortable just for a few moments and take a deep breath. I want you to close your eyes and center yourself just for a moment. Take a few seconds to think about something you want to achieve more than anything right now. Take a deep breath and imagine it's already yours. And now hold that space. You can continue to close your eyes if you wish. Now, with that feeling of joy and elation and your current thought process in just your normal daily life, how would you react to someone saying, "Why are you wasting your time with that? This will never be a success. It will never happen"? What is your reaction to something that you really want and somebody has said that to you? What type of boundary, if any, did you instantly apply? in response? Could you have responded in a more mindful manner? Okay, my divines, I would love to hear what you discovered. Again, links are set below. And thank you one more time. And until next time, have a blessed day. Ashe.